Alright everybody, welcome back. Now that we have everything set up, we can start the process of building our app. So our app will have a routing component called page display, as well as 3-page products, shopping cart, and profile. So starting off, we're going to build the page display component. So we'll go into our app over here, and I'm going to change this because I don't like how it's written to read const app. And then we'll just return page display. So what we're going to keep in our app are things like our user's profile. So this will be the holder of all state. Actually, I'll do it like this. I'll have a user ID set as null, and we will have a cart as an empty array. Okay, so it's telling us page display has not been built. So we will add a new folder, call it components, and we'll add a new file called pagedisplay.js. Inside this page display component, we will be using React Router DOM to route our users throughout our page. So we will open a new terminal window here and do npm install React Router DOM. While that's installing, I'm going to change the branch that we're on to a new branch, and we're going to call this Frontend. Alright, so we're in our new branch. If we break something, that's fine. We'll go import React from React, and we will say const go back in here, and we'll get this to auto import our page display. We can delete that now. Page routing. See, completely unstyled, doesn't look that great. We're going to want to load in Bootstrap and build Bootstrap in this project. Bootstrap's great, especially for something like this. So here in our app, we're going to want to import our Bootstrap CSS, which requires the Bootstrap dependency to be installed. So we'll go back in and install React Bootstrap. Alright, so now page display is loaded. We have our Bootstrap CSS imported into our document. And let's just, I can't find it yet, so let's just do this and see if it finds it now. No. We'll close it and open it back up. It should find it now that we installed it. Try that. Let's take a look at our package JSON and see what's been added here. Just React and React Bootstrap. Okay, that's why we're having our error. So we'll jump back in. Now we don't have the error anymore. So we're using Bootstrap here. So we have our page display component. And in our page display component, we want to add routing. So we will use React Router DOM here. So we're going to import browser router switch and route from React Router DOM. So, as I said before, we're going to have three main pages. We're going to have our profile page, our products page, and our shopping cart page. So, what I usually like to do is I like to make a little object that holds each of the pages. So we'll have called link object array, and we'll have key for the first one. It's an array. I made it an object, but for the first one, we'll have key b products. We'll have the link. This will be our home page. We'll have the narration, which is what it will say when you toggle over this icon. Be products. We won't put an icon yet, but we'll give it a class name and call that icon. And trigger, we'll just put true because we want it to be displayed for everyone. I like to do triggers for some sites that I have where I have a user ID and they're allowed to see some pages but not others. So the next page will be, our key will be shopping cart. Our link will be /cart. Our narr will be shopping cart, class name, icon, trigger, true. And finally, for our last page, we'll have profile. And our link, we /profile. Our narration will be profile. And our class name will be icon again. And our trigger will be true. Now, this is great, but we want to have icons for each of these. And one of the packages that I really like using for icons is Font Awesome. I think they make great icons, especially for what we would be using them for. So I'm going to go ahead and import 4 Font Awesome libraries into our project. So then we'll do npm install. Alright, so we're installing the libraries for Font Awesome. And we have our link object array up here. So let's add icons for each of these. So we want to go over here, go to Font Awesome, find yourself an icon. Let's say product. I don't like that icon. How about shopping? We'll use this tags icon. So that'll be FATAGSO, and it's not going to auto import for me. So let's get an import statement here. We will use that and come down here and go FA tags, and we'll repeat this statement down here. Icon for a shopping cart we can call FA shopping cart. There we go, and it auto imported. And last, for our profile, we can do icon FA pro. Nope, no profile default. Let's see what we got. How about we do this ID badge? There we go. And bam. So we have all the pages. Now I just want to put components in here. So as we build the components, we'll add them in here, and then we'll set up page routing to route us to the correct page. We'll also use this in the navbar component, where we can show which page is used for the icon. So alright, so our next component, we'll go ahead and create the products.js page, and we'll import React from React. And we'll return here. We'll change product to shopping cart. Place all those. And finally, we will do a new file. And we'll change products to profile. So you can select that, hit Control D twice, and get them all, and say profile. Bam. Okay, so we have our 3 pages. We want this first one, this component, to be products, auto import. There we go. I want this one to be shopping, auto import, bam, there we go. And finally, we want this one to be profile, auto import. Alright, so double check these so they're all the correct imports here. And then we will go ahead and create our page display. Browser router, so that's what sets everything up. And it doesn't like it that it's a non-closing component, but we'll add switch here, and then that should make that error go away. And then we'll add the route item. But we have an array up there. So what we can do is do link. So we use these curly brackets to allow us to use JavaScript inside our React components. So we'll go link object array dot map, and then do a link object for that, and then we can put our object inside this inside these rounded brackets. So our route, it'll be a route object for each one. Our key will equal link dot key, but you know, this isn't great because we're going to have the nav bar that's going to have a similar key, and it's going to receive this link object array. So what we'll do here, we'll put these quotes around, do that, add curly brackets, add that, and say we'll do route dash. There we go. So that's a key. That key will be unique no matter what. Then we'll go path equals link dot link. That could be path up there. And then component, we'll do link object dot component. Alright, so there we go. That builds it up. We have our component here, and we have our link object array. So now when we go into our page, we have localhost 3000. So we start off with products. We go slash cart. It still says product. Let's put exact here, and let's go into the shopping cart and see why it's saying. Oh, there we go. So now that we have exact, it will only choose the most exact one. So and then we can go profile. Alright, so we have our page, we have our routing set up. Now let's get a nav bar in here so we can actually use this setup here. So what I like to do is now I'll go new folder, and I'll call it nav bar. And we'll create a new file in here called navbar.js. Okay, so we have plenty of options on nav bars to use from React Bootstrap. So we'll use one of them. And in here, we will want to insert props because we will be receiving props from the page display component, and that prop will be that link object array. There's no need to rewrite it. We can just pull it in here. So we'll export default navbar. Okay. So we can actually just do something like this. So this is an automatic return, and this can house all of our JSX in here. So we'll go ahead and change this to link obj r. Okay, and then we'll put that as a placeholder for now. Come back down here, and right here we will put, but instead of doing a component like we did down here, we will do a render equals, and this will render us nav bar, and in it we can add link object or r equals link object r. So that's our props that we're passing down. So here we go. Now we have navbar over here and we're getting our props. Oh, yep, look at that. Beautiful navbar. Okay, so now we can jump into Bootstrap and take a look at the navbar. So we just want a simple navbar here. Home, features, pricing. That looks great. So I actually like this dark one for our website, so we'll do navbar well, it won't auto import yet, so we'll go ahead and import navbar from React Bootstrap, and then here we'll put our navbar, and we'll put a navbar brand for it. I'll say the green owl. And so they use their own link, as you can see over here, but we don't want to use that type of a link. We want to use a link that this will trigger a re-render if you use this. It's like an a space href. So don't use the embedded link functions on React Bootstrap. Go ahead and do import link from React router DOM, and then you can do something like this and put a link component and two, so that'll take you home. Alright, so we have our navbar started, the green owl. There we go. But let's make it dark. Let's make it look good. Let's just copy this. It looks great. And then let's take a look. Oh, look at that. Looks awesome. Okay. So now we want to go ahead and do nav, and we can go ahead and make all this come up on the left by calling this class name ML auto. That means margin left is auto in the React Bootstrap world. And now we can do link obj r.map again and do link object and do this. And we can put our return right in this line of code. So we want to have, for each one, want to have link to link obj dot link. I think that's correct. And inside that we will do nav we can do just the, once again we'll do that, we'll do link obj dot icon. And it's going to want us to put a key in here. So for a key will equal that, and we'll say nav dash and link obj dot key. here we go. Oh, let's go ahead and import nav, and let's see how this looks. Oh. Oh, so what happens here is you can't just render this icon. I like to use a additional component to render the icons. It's made by Font Awesome again, and it's called Font Awesome Icon, and we've already installed the dependency for it. Let's get this imported correctly here. Let's see, import. Alright, so look at that. Beautiful little icons here. But they do look a little weird. I don't really like the color of them, and they're all smushed together. So we can leave them like this. We can take a look. We can inspect them. Let's say, okay, so if we move the class name up to here, we can, up to the link component, we can do some pretty cool things. So we'll do that. Okay, so now this is when we get to start playing with CSS. So what I like to do to speed things up is just go in here, our A class. So I want our font color to be white, and we want it to be under navbar. Alright. So that didn't change anything. That's because our navbar CSS isn't imported. Alright, there we go. So now our icons are white. When you hover over them, they turn blue. That's pretty sweet. What about the height? For some reason, they could be taller, don't you think? Let's see what happens if we change the height of navbar of this guy to 100%. Just see what happens. Still does nothing. Let's see here. Let's take a look at what we have for font height here. Font size 1.25 rem. So let's go into here instead of saying that, let's say 1.25 REM does nothing. And oh, look at that. So now these are the same size as the text over there. So that's all we need. We just need font size. And let's give them a margin of auto for top and bottom, and we'll do 0.25 REM for left and right. Oh, and look at that. So they are starting to kind of look like good little icons up here. I don't like the color they are on hover though. So we'll just put a little placeholder, tan, we'll call it tan. And let's increase that to 0.5 REM. But we put these little narrations in here, so we should, on hover, be able to see our little narration. So let's figure out how we can do that. So we can go ahead and add an overlay trigger and put the placement of it to the left, and that's a common React Bootstrap item. So that way when we hover over this, we get our little object. Now this little component here is getting a little unruly, so we're going to go ahead and break it out after we build this overlay trigger. So let's go ahead and do this, move this here, and we'll say placement is to the left, and overlay will be a tool tip, and it will say link obj.nar. So let's see this. Oh, product shopping cart profile. Bam, awesome. So let's break this out, and we'll say individual link object equals, put that and that, and then do something like that. Then we can take this unruly little component and move it down into here. Keep things nice and clean. Put a little semicolon there. Come up here and do that. And pass our link object as a prop. Alright, so everything's still working. It looks great. Okay, so now we got to start building our pages. So we'll go ahead and start building our products page. Oh, it doesn't like this. It doesn't like all these things on one line. And that's our Airbnb linter getting mad at us again. But it does look better when you do something like this. Alright. So products. Let's take a look at all our, yeah, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay, and all those are okay. Okay. So let's start building out our products. To start off, I only want to have 3 or 4 products. I want to put the products in its own folder, so we'll do products. And if you have a smart IDE, when you move this, we'll say yes, we want to move it. And then it says update imports for products, and bam, your imports are updated, and you're back. You're rolling again. So let's go ahead and close all these windows. We don't need them open, and we'll just open products again. Okay, so we want to create a product array. We want to have maybe, let's just start with 5 different products. So we'll jump into, I'm going to go ahead and open my files, and I'm going to have a couple of files, a couple of photos that I'm going to add to this project. Let's see here. I'll just add a couple little thumbnails. That'll keep the file size low here. And we'll grab these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 thumbnails, and I will just drag them and drop them right into my products folder. Let's see how that looks. Let's see if they made it there. If not, I will move them manually. They're just 3 images that we're going to put into this folder. Alright. And we'll go. Alright, so I moved the images. They're over there now, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 images here. So we're going to write an import statement for each image. And when you import images, it's a little tricky sometimes. But we can do it. It's nice and easy. Let's see here. So we'll do import prod1 from, we'll do prod1 from esc_1233.jpg. Alright, so now we have our products, and we will want to create a product object array. Again, so we can map it. That makes it nice and easy to add tons of the same types of components over and over again. So we'll start off with product 1, and we'll say name product 1 key prod 1 image prod 1, and we'll add a comma here, and we'll copy this, and we'll go through, and product 1 will change to product 2. This one. So now we have our 7 products that we want to display to the user. What's a good way to display them, you ask? Well, let's just go ahead and use an alert for each one. It'll be similar to this. Each one will have the alert. It'll say what the product is, the name of the product, then we'll have add to cart, and we'll have a quantity that they can add to the cart. So we'll start off, do that, and then do H2. And we will do change those. We can use rounded brackets, then we don't have to do a return statement, and we can do we'll have the key be prod disp, and then product key, and we'll pass the product into here as well, and there we go. So now we can build and do that, and here we are. So we'll go alert. It's not going to auto import it for us, so we're going to go up here and go import alert from React Bootstrap, and down here we'll go ahead and say alert, and we'll put our image in there. It's gonna be big, and so you can keep this and you can have it so your image is displayed on the left, and then whatever's words kind of wrap around it. That's really nice. I really like it, and I'll show you how to do that real quick. So let's go in here, and all you have to do to make that work is go align equals left, and bam. So if you had a lot of text, if you had a description that was like a paragraph long, this would make it look good. And then, so we'll just go ahead and put, after that, we'll add a P, and then we'll put product.name. Alright, so, and they like to have an alt. And we'll put the alt as product.name. So that way, someone's can't see, they can hear what the alt is describing. So it can't find DSC003. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this DSC underscore and go Control D, D. Go to the front of that. Try that now. Oh, okay. So it's working, but for some reason it's not displaying the image. So we got to figure out why. Let's see here. Let's inspect that. It doesn't even have a source if you look down here. So let's figure out why it doesn't have a source. Oh, because the source would be undefined, because instead of product.source it would be product.image. Okay, so there we go. We got our alerts, we got our images, and they're huge. So, and they're all kind of like jumbled up together here. So let's see here, let's create a little CSS file for this guy. And let's import it down here. Oh, it doesn't like that because I forgot the S here. So we'll jump back in here. Okay. So we want to be sure that what we're changing in here, what we're doing to these images, is only changed in products. So we'll go in here and say div. We'll give it an ID of product page. And then we'll close out the div tag down here. Come up here, product page, image, max width. We'll go 100 px. And then we'll also give it a max height of 100 px. Okay, so now it's looking on quite a bit more attractive. Alright, so let's see what we can do with our alerts here. Let's make these doesn't like the type of quotations in there. Okay. So we have a problem here where our alert isn't containing what's inside of it. So we can do something like display flex, and that'll fix that. And then that only fixes this one, but if we come over here and do dot alert, since that's what the div is called, we can say display equals flex, and then bam, it works for everybody. And then we can also do justify content center, and we don't like that. Align content center, let's see what that does. Let's do align items now. Oh, there we go. Now this text is kind of aligned in there. Alright, so it's starting to look a little bit better. Let's do something. Let's change the width of our product page here to be, let's go max width being 95% of the page. And then let's give margin auto. That way we're nice and rounded here. Alright, so now we have all these products. Let's see if we can let's do something to get that a little bit away. So we want our product page, and then we'll do P, do margin left as 10 px. Alright. So now we have all these products. We have 7 products. Alright, and let's do another page from this. Let's go from this page of products and have it link to an individual page of each product. Cancel that. We'll do that later. But let's get it so we can add these products to our cart. So go back here into app. So let's do it like this. Let's do create context. So this is your state manager pretty much. And this will allow you to call state without having to pass it so far down. So we'll say export cart, export const cart equals create context Alright. Doesn't like this export being before the import. And this auto loaded. So you gotta be careful with that with Visual Studio sometimes. You don't want things auto loading. Okay. So what we want to do to be able to use this context in subsequent pages is we want to come down here and put cart.provider and give it a value of an object and say cart and set cart and do that. It does like the spaces there. Okay. So now we have products. So we have the image, we have the product, and now we should have a add to cart button. And let's not do a P, let's do a button. Size equals small. That looks a little weird, doesn't it? But since this product is a flexbox, then we can go ahead and put justify content and do space between. See how that looks. Oh, that looks pretty good. I also like, I think for here we want to change our margin to be 0, 0, 0. We want it all to be 0. There we go. Now everything is set up and justified correctly. I'll let you go ahead and do the rest of the formatting on your own, but for now we're set up. Alright, so now we're in this project and we want to be able to add these items to our cart, and we also want to be able to verify if they are already in the cart. So we're going to need to pass in a function that will go into this component. It'll test the cart, see if the item is already in the cart, and if it is, it'll do nothing. If it's not, then it'll add it to the cart. We can also pass in a form item and potentially change the quantity, but we're going to do that in the shopping cart. So, alright, so on click, add to cart, and it's yelling at us. It says that's not in here, so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll do that. And then we will come in here and go const add to cart, and then we'll return null for now. But how are we going to know which product they wanted added to the cart? That's a good question. So here's how we're going to handle that. We are going to go ahead and say right here, do this, 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 and then put in product.key. So bam. So once they do this, let's see if this works. let's inspect here. Take a look at our console. We're gonna have to go back and look at that, but product 1. Alright. Product 5. Our navbar component does not have individual keys, and you want to know why that is? Because we added a tooltip. So we need to come up here, add that there, do that. Nope, it's not there either. It's right here. So there we go. That got rid of that error down here. So now we have our products and we're adding them to the cart. So how are we going to use the cart? So what we're going to do here is we're going to call cart and set cart. useContext, it'll load it in for us. And what did we name that? Is it cart? Yeah. Let's double check that. It was cart. So this is what we're loading in here. And it has the values of cart and set cart. So in here, we now have cart and set cart in our products page. So now that we have that, we can say if cart dot includes product, return null. And then if not, we can do we can return cart dot push product. And to check this, we can just do console.log cart. So we're not getting a re-render here. Oh, and you know what is happening is we did cart.push. We didn't set the state. So we can do temp cart equals cart.append product and set cart with temp cart. And we can do console log cart. Let's see what happens if we do it like this. Ooh, cart.append is not a function. Let's just do this. Alright, so now we have to do the spread operator on the cart to make this work. So let's go ahead and save this. So now our cart can have all these objects in it. Alright. So our next step will be to create the shopping cart display. So now we have this. So we want to do that same thing and import the cart like we did in products. Oh, we didn't use form in here, so we can get rid of that. the source directory, so we'll do that. Oh. Alright, so it's ready to go. And then inside of our component, we can just copy this and go right in here, paste it right there. But we need to reload useContext in this component here. Alright, so now we have our shopping cart in here. So right now, shopping cart is empty. What we'll want to do is display all the items in the shopping cart and allow users to update quantities and delete items. So maybe when we put the product in, we should have done something more here to add quantities for each item in the product, or yeah, each item. So how could we do that? Let's say that the cart is an array of objects. And let's see, can include be used on as a lambda function. Now I'm not sure. We can find out. Let's see here. Let's see what happens. Alright, so it's adding them to the cart. Let's see what happens if we try and add something that's already been added. Does not add it. No, it does add it. So we have prod 4, prod 4. But what we need to do is we need to add the whole product to the array. So instead of saying product key here, we need to do this, do this. Okay, so the lambda function does not work, but if we change that to find, it does nothing. So find works. But there's also something funny about find is 0 will always be false. So it does what we need it to do. Alright, perfect. Alright, so now our shopping cart is set up. Each individual product is stored in our cart. And we will want to go into our shopping cart and we're going to want to make this be out of this scope and up in this scope and export it so we can import it over here in the shopping cart. So we got it imported here. Alright. And we have our cart here. So let's go ahead and do div id equals shopping cart. And put this header up here. And go into the shopping cart. Nothing again. Let's do a new folder called shopping cart. Take this, move it up in here. Move, wait, yes, perfect. Make sure everything's saved. Go into here. And we'll do a shopping cart.css. Alright, now here we're going to import that. And in here we're going to take this same line of code and put it in here, but we're going to do it for shopping cart. Alright, so here we are, shopping cart in tow. It looks beautiful up here. Everything looks glorious. Alright, so our next step is going to be displaying all the items in our shopping cart. So we will go ahead and we need to have quantities for these items. So let's go back and think about this. When we add these products, we want to push the product, but we also want to have the product have a quantity. So we can just add something as an object, product quantity equals 1. But it doesn't like it when you change a function parameter. So we can just do this and do that. Oh, yikes, what is that? Alright, there we go. Alright, so now we have our products. Our shopping cart will have quantities in it. So we'll do cart.map, and it'll be another product, and we'll make a component called cart item, send the product in there, and the key will be cart dash Alright. Alright, so we have our cart, we have our items. We should be giving our users the opportunity to change quantities here, to add or delete quantities however they may choose. We can also do quantities in the previous page, but we would have to make this product object array a part of the state. So we can consider that later. But for now, we have our product. We have our quantities in the cart, and we'll do another alert because they're easy to set up. And we can just use similar code to what's in the product. Actually do like this. I want to do a form group as well. And let's take a look at React Bootstrap. So this is a React Bootstrap form that we're using here. So let's do an example select like this. We'll allow people to choose up to 10 items. And we can just copy this code and we'll delete this because we don't need a button right now. Product.quantity is what we want our value to be, and on change we want to do a function called change quantity and have product and pass it product as well as event.target.value. It really does not like that. Oh, that's why. There we go. Does not like that either, so we'll change that to brackets like that. And change quantity and have that equal a function called change quantity that we're going to write. And we're going to have the product that comes in and the quantity in. Alright, so we'll do that, and then we will do that. So our product quantity is now equal to quantity in. So we want to find where this product is in our cart. So let's see here. So let's do a cart.find. And then let's just see if temp cart at the prod index should be equal to product. Alright, and then we will set cart with temp cart. Alright, so let's add a few items to our cart first and come in here and see how it looks. Quantity 1. So it's not doing anything. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see what we get when we do this. So it looks like what is not changing. Oh, it's adding a whole nother object onto it. See that? Right there. Okay. So that is our problem. Now let's see how we can change that. Oh, so what is happening here is this product index is not a number. It's a value, an object. So what we need to do is we need to return the index of this value. So there's a couple ways that we can do this. We can do a cart.map and item and just do item.key. So now we just have an array of item keys in the same so now this will create an array of just the keys, and then we'll get the index of the product key that we're looking for. So now we will look at, alright, so let's go add these 3 things to the cart. Alright, so look at that. Alright, so now it's changing. Quantity is 4. But look at that, it's coming in as a string. So that could be an issue. So we want to do this. Python got me again. It's actually parse int quantity in. Let's see what happens here. If we add a couple products, and we change the quantity. Undefined. Let's do, oh, it's a function call. Come on. Alright. Do 3 products again. Let's change the quantity. Yeah, I'm pretty bad with converting to integers. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. We got an int with base 10. Alright, so now our cart's working correctly when we change the quantity of a product. But what if we change the quantity and we give the user the option to go to 0? What happens then? So we should find out if the quantity in is 0. We will call a function called remove item. And we'll put the product. We will use this same code to find the product index. The temp cart will be set as the cart, and temp, we will set cart as temp cart.slice from 0 to prod index. So this will give us a chance to add two arrays together. One of them being from 0 to the point where the product is, and the other being from the product passed. So let's see here, what happens if we put 0 here? We should be looking at our cart every time. So let's look at this, just to make sure we're doing things right. Does not remove it. Interesting. Why is that, you wonder? If quantity in is 0, return remove item. It seems to me that quantity in, oh, this is why. because we were looking at a string and comparing it to an int. So bam, it's gone. Alright, so that's a good thing. We're moving on. Alright, so now I want to be able to remove an item. So what do you think I would do to remove this? Well, we will do this. Alright, let's see if this button works. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it works. Alright, let's make it a variant warning. Alright, okay, so now, I mean, it looks okay, right? You think it looks okay, so let's see, how can we make it look better though? I want to make this look really, really nice. So what I want to do is I want to have the image and the product just like we had it before. So I want to make this, and then I want to go in here for cart item. I want to have display flex direction row, and then alright, so now we have a smaller image, the words right there. And let's take some of this, move it over here. Alright, the margins are 0. And then let's steal this. Alright. Now, here we have our form group. I want this to be like that. And I want this to be a column instead of a row. So we do that, and then that becomes a column that takes up 2 spaces, and there's 12 spaces total. And so let's see how this looks, if this did anything. No, it did not. Let's do it like this then. So let's go back up here. Let's add this, and see how it looks. Alright, so now we have it looking like this. It's beautiful, it's glorious. But this looks kind of weird up here. And this, I would prefer it if the button was all the way on the other side. So let's go in here. See if we can change it like this. Doesn't let us. Alright, we'll figure that out. But let's keep our what would happen if we were to put this guy inside of this div? Let's see what it would change, how it would change its appearance. Yikes, that looks kind of bad. Let's just leave it as is for now. We'll let you, we have the logic that works there. I'll let you work on making it look pretty. Let's go back in here. Let's give it 0, 0, 0, 10 px, just to get it a little space. And look at that. So now we have the buttons over here to remove the item. We have the quantity is right justified. So we are good to go. Alright, so our shopping cart is created. Now we need a way for somebody to submit their order. So down here, and we probably need prices on each of the products, right? Let's see here. We'll do $12 a piece for each one. So in the shopping cart, below everything, we will have if cart.length greater than 0 and totals. Alright, so now we have our cart. Subtotal will equal. So what we can do here is we can do a reduce function. Does anybody want to bet if that's going to work? Uh-oh, what's going on here? Yikes. Let's go ahead and... Alright, fix that. Alright, so let's add a bunch of things to the cart. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what the console says. Not a number, not a number, not a number. Alright, so now we'll do it like this. Total and item. Let's see. Does anybody want to guess if that'll work? 36. Alright, let's see what happens here. 48. 84. Alright, we're in business. Okay. So what I want to return here is a small table. It looks a little bit like this. Let's do a small dark table. We'll just copy this. Do this, and we'll have the header row, but we won't even have a header row in it. We'll have total. We will have tax. Actually, we'll have subtotal. We'll say our tax rate is 0.5%. We'll actually and for last row we will do our total. And that'll be subtotal times 1 plus tax rate. Alright, so let's add some items. Look at our card. Yikesers. So we'll want to parse that to a float and only do 2 decimal places. let's see what happens here. 37.80. Let's do the same thing for the tax. And for each product, let's go ahead and put in how much it will cost. All right. Perfect. So now we have our shopping cart built. Let's make this table only take up half the page because it looks bad taking up the whole page here. Let's inspect it, see what it is. All right. Let's parse our subtotal as well. Somehow I screwed a piece of code up. Oh, yeah, right there. That got pasted in the wrong spot. Alright, so everything looks good. So our shopping cart is functional. Now, when we start making orders, then we'll start working on the profile page. That'll be the user's profile, what orders they've made, and we'll also save this shopping cart state in the Firebase cloud. So when you add an item or change a quantity or whatever, it'll be stored in the cloud. I'm also going to, we can delete that, go through and fix all the errors in the linter so it looks pretty. And it does not like the order. That we imported stuff. And strings should contain single quotes. We'll just let that fix itself. Alright, so there's the first go at the shopping cart. We used context, we used state. Tune in next time. We're going to be looking at using use effect, another hook, so we'll be able to do some stuff right off the bat when a component renders. It's like component did mount. Some fun stuff coming up. We're also going to dive into the Firebase. We're going to use some Firebase functions and stuff. So I appreciate you joining along with me, watching this video, and if you have any questions, add them to the comments below. If you like the video, hit like or subscribe, And great, I appreciate the time, and hope to talk to you again soon. Alright, take care. Oh, and I'm going to push this latest repo to GitHub. The front end, I'm going to merge it with master. We're done with the front end for a little bit, so I'm also going to delete this front end branch, and so everything will be in master there on the GitHub repo if you want to review the code. Alright, thank you very much. Take care. Bye.